Serena Williams is expecting a little baby, yo! Yeah! Congratulations, Serena! Although I must admit I was a little disappointed to find out she was pregnant when she won the Australian Open, which is not cool because technically that's a doubles match. Cheating, I'm just gonna put it out there. And you know what they say? For every amazing black baby that comes into the world, one old white man has to leave.
We have some breaking news to report to you. Fox News anchor Bill O'Reilly will not be returning to the O'Reilly Factor.
Parent company 20th Century Fox says it came to the decision after a review of the allegations of sexual harassment and verbal abuse coming by the host. Of course, he settled a lot of lawsuits. No word yet what will happen to his show, The O'Reilly Factor. One would assume the name changes.
Or they just keep the show and they just find a random Irish guy with the same last name. You know, it's like, it's me, Steve O'Reilly. Tonight's top story, Bono. That's not a real name! Because, I mean, we assumed that they'll change the name of the show, but we also assumed that Fox would have fired O'Reilly after the third time he was accused of sexual harassment. So you never know. And now, here at The Daily Show, we want to give O'Reilly the send-off that he deserves. Because, let's be honest, he's not going to get it on Fox, that's for sure. You know, those guys are probably going to pretend nothing is wrong. Just be like, no news to report here. Everything is fine. Back to you, Megan. I mean Greta. I mean Gretchen. I mean Bill. I mean, who's left? So let's give Bill his proper due. Because you may not know this, but Bill O'Reilly was the biggest figure in the history of cable news. At one point, no one even came close because they were afraid that he might sexually harass them. His primetime show was the top cable news show for 16 years with as many as 4 million viewers a night. But before O'Reilly was a huge star on Fox News, he was blowing up on Inside Edition as shown in this infamous clip.
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Wow. Wow. All of that just because Bill O'Reilly had never heard the expression, play us out? That is the angriest I've ever seen someone get from not knowing a phrase. Like, for instance, in America, I hear phrases I don't understand all the time, but I don't flip out over it. You don't see me going, my neck of the woods? What neck? What woods? Woods don't have necks! It doesn't make sense! It doesn't make sense! Ah! Ah! It, I'll do it live! Now, some of us watch that clip and we see madness. But in the mid-90s, a man by the name of Roger Ailes watched it and he saw greatness. And he reached out and said, come join me at Fox, O'Reilly, and together we will build a cable empire fueled by white Christian resentment. And then, as our masterstroke, we will both be forced to leave because we couldn't keep our penises in our white Christian pants. Allegedly. And so, O'Reilly went forth and gave voice to that vision.
If you're a Christian or a white man in the USA, it's open season on you. There is a war between traditional Americans and secular progressives in this country. The left sees white privilege in America as an oppressive force that must be done away with. Taking voting power away from the white precincts is the quickest way to do that.
The New York Times of the world hate the white Christian male power structure and want to change it by a massive amount of foreign nationals being able to vote.
The way we've lived for the past 250 years are under siege. Christmas has become controversial in America. The war on Christmas begins. The war on Christmas is war on Christmas. So-called white privilege, bad. Diversity, good.
Okay. Here's what I don't understand. If white people don't have it good in the US, then which race does? Because it's not black people, it's not Hispanics, it's not Asians. I mean, that pretty much leaves whatever mystery race Bruno Mars is. So who's having a good time? So yes, Bill O'Reilly talked about a lot of issues over 20 years. But it's important tonight to remember that he had a special place in his heart for black people. Prison.
Don't get pregnant at 14. Don't allow your neighborhoods to deteriorate into free fire zones. That's what the African-American community should have on their T-shirts.
With African-American youth.
But how are you going to get jobs for them? Many of them are ill-educated and have tattoos on their foreheads. There's an outreach, I don't even know what that means, by the Obama administration to African-Americans. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. What does that entail? Are they going to be on Soul Train?
You always refuse to acknowledge that there is institutional racism in this country.
Okay, because you can't
and
prove
that there's a legacy of racism in this country.
Slaves did participate in the construction of the White House. Slaves that worked there were well fed and had decent lodgings provided by the government. Let's say you're a cocaine dealer, and you kind of look like one a little bit.
Man, can I just say, Bill O'Reilly's lucky that black people aren't all the criminals he thinks they are. Otherwise, that guy would have popped a cap in his ass. He would have busted the cap in his ass so fast. But no, he had to go and be a highly educated college professor. Boring. You know, looking back on all of O'Reilly's greatest hits, the one thing that's hard to believe was that it took this long for him to lose his job. That's what I always wonder. And like, why did all the advertisers that pulled off his show now stick with the show that long? Like, what, were they watching that like, you know what, he does look like a cocaine dealer. Yeah, buy ReadyWhip. But maybe the reason Fox kept O'Reilly on for so long was because sometimes he was so racist, it somehow became funny.
You know, I was up in Harlem a few weeks ago, and I actually had dinner with Al Sharpton, and we went to Sylvia's, a very famous restaurant in Harlem. And I couldn't get over the fact that there was no difference between Sylvia's restaurant and any other restaurant in New York City. I mean, it was exactly the same, even though it's run by blacks, primarily black patronship. It was the same. There wasn't one person in Sylvia's who was screaming MFer, I want more iced tea.
Please.
You know, I mean, everybody was, it was like going into an Italian restaurant in an all-white suburb, in the sense of people were sitting there and they were ordering and having fun, and there wasn't any kind of craziness at all.
You know, guys, this is so racist, I can't even be mad about it. Because you realize in Bill O'Reilly's mind, going to a black restaurant was basically going to be like walking into the middle of the Rodney King riots. Like, he thought people wouldn't be ordering food, they just loot the kitchen and run out with their order. You know, the waiters would be doing drive-bys. You want some ketchup? Pa 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 pa. Get some pepper, yo. What do you think? And Bill O'Reilly wasn't just a famous newsman. You know all that anger and victimhood you hear from Trump voters? A lot of that started with him. Like, a lot of people said that Jon Stewart was the Yoda of cable news. Well, Bill O'Reilly was the Sith Lord. And I want to be Daisy Ridley. Can I be Daisy Ridley? Please, I want to be Daisy Ridley. Whoa, 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 whoa. I think I nailed it. And you know what they say about the Sith? There is much anger on the dark side.
You're either going to stop talking or I'm going to cut your mic off.
Cut his mic. Cut his mic. Cut her mic off.
I know what I was doing?
Shut up.
You don't know anything.
He doesn't have a right to be in this country.
There's entitlement. One program.
What do you want to yell at?
Because you're lying.
Oh, none of this was your fault. Oh, no. People lost millions of dollars. It wasn't your fault. Come on, you coward. Say the truth.
Coward.
You're a coward.
Damn. I don't know if he should have ever had a TV show, but I do know he would have fit right in at an imaginary black restaurant. I'll tell you that much. He would have been perfect. You're the coward! You're the coward! Where's my food? It, I'll do it live! So it's sad to say, but farewell, extremely old friend. But before you go, Bill O'Reilly, one last time, please, why don't you play us out?
They're just running around trying to jazz people up. I give him the same jazz I give everybody else. Did the sporting crew give him any jazz on that? When you get back to New Haven, are they going to give you jazz? I'm only giving you jazz. You know Trump gives you jazz all day long. Jeb Bush gave you a little jazz today. Are they giving you some jazz down here? You getting some jazz down here?
That's all right. I'm a big boy. You give me jazz every time.
No, but I'm interested. No, obviously I was giving some jazz. Anybody give you any jazz? I'm giving you a little jazz on the commies. Jazz. How about you? Do you get jazz? Gave her a little jazz, Mike. I gave everybody a little jazz.
Congratulations! You've been randomly selected as a winner of free Daily Show episodes. Yes, you. To claim your prize, just watch full episodes of The Daily Show for free anytime with the Comedy Central app or at thedailyshow.com. What a winner you are! So much winning.